Two Geeks, Two Beers and a Laptop. Episode 16, Ulysses 31.
Dream or nightmare, our only chance of getting away is to go down to the Iris and try to reactivate the energy drive. I'll go. Courage, friends.
Oh, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Two Geeks, Two Beers and a Laptop with me, Morgan, and my companion, Mr. Tom Eames. That will make more sense to you in a moment.
Hello.
So in this episode, we're going to be going on an odyssey, looking back at the 80s animated series Ulysses 31. What do you know about Ulysses 31?
Absolutely nothing, other than you saying that you're a fan of it.
Right, you'd never even heard of it before.
Is it Jerry Anderson?
No.
It's animated.
It's animation, and not Super Marionation.
Is it American?
We'll get on. So this is a French-Japanese... Why are you just laughing at French? French-Japanese co-production.
It's French-Japanese, that doesn't happen very often.
Wow. No, it created quite the interesting end product. So it aired between 1981... and 1982, ran for just one season of 26 episodes, but it tells a complete story and it has a proper end.
Oh, good.
Proper finale.
Not leaving it on a cliffhanger.
No.
Bloody prisoner again.
No, there's very little ambiguity here. You'll be pleased to hear.
Okay, good.
So it's the classic sort of tale from Greek mythology of Ulysses or Odysseus from the original Greek, but set in the 31st century, hence Ulysses 31. So it's almost a little bit like Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd century.
How did that theme tune go?
Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd century. There were some original stories in the episodes, but most of the stories were kind of updated classic tales from Greek mythology, but in space. So you had,
Homer in
so you had the battle with the Cyclops, the Minotaur in the maze, that kind of thing. But kind of, if it was Star Wars, basically. So Homer in space, not Homer Simpson. So
it's kind of like how that Fallout game has just come out. It's set in the future, it's all got it's all like the 50s. If you know what I memean.
Yeah, sure.
Do you know what I mean? So it's the future, but it's sort of old.
So that's like future noir.
Yeah.
And this is like future Homer.
Yeah.
So it is very obviously, it was 1981, so it was just when Star Wars was huge. And it's very, very obviously Star Wars.
Okay.
Inspired, shall we say, to be polite. Guys with laser swords. Although Ulysses actually has a laser gun that also becomes a sword.
Bloody hell!
So it's like, and then zoom. It's pretty badass. So
is that in case you run out of bullets?
Well, it's laser gun, can't really run out of bullets. It depends if it's like long range or close quarters.
Yeah.
Telemachus, a human. There, seize him, brothers. He must not escape. Great Cyclops, grant us life.
It's also, you can tell the Star Wars influence because he has a cute robot sidekick. No, very much the snarf or the orco of the piece.
No.
No. What you said. No. Find the research module.
Yes, right away.
So I could go into more detail about the premise of Ulysses 31, but why bother? Because the epic theme song.
It's another one of those.
It's like all the best theme songs we were talking about in the previous episode.
Yeah.
It outlines the entire premise for the show.
So keep listening to the lyrics.
Yeah, let's have a blast of this.
It is the 31st century. Ulysses killed the giant Cyclops when he rescued the children and his son Telemachus. But the ancient gods of Olympus are angry and threaten a terrible revenge.
Mortals, you defy the gods? I sentence you to travel among unknown stars. Until you find the kingdom of Hades, your bodies will stay as lifeless as stone.
Ulysses, the way back to Earth has been wiped from my memory.
Father! Oh, Father!
You are alive, my son.
robot, you know. Friend of Ulysses. Ulysses. No, small robot, you know. Friend of Ulysses.
Yeah.
Very good.
My favourite thing about that title sequence, apart from the fact that you thought you misheard mortals as buttholes. Buttholes, you dare defy the gods? Potty mouth Poseidon. My favourite thing about it is that it says, until you find the kingdom of Hades, your bodies will stay as lifeless as stone. And then they all float.
Yeah.
Because stone, notorious for its lightweight properties, floaty stone.
So the bloke's called Ulysses, right?
Yeah, he is Ulysses.
So he looked like Jesus mixed with Chris Christopherson.
Well, we'll get onto it at the end, but I've got a few ideas as to who could play him were it to become a movie blockbuster.
We mentioned this briefly in Bucky O'Hare with the theme tunes. I wish it was just one sort of production house that they were the only ones allowed to do the theme tunes of every single kids' cartoon series of the 80s and 90s.
There needs to be a compilation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we should put it all together.
I think we should.
The Two Geeks.
Two Geeks, the soundtrack.
If they're on Spotify, we'd love to create a Spotify playlist in bed, but probably can't.
Kickstart.
Yeah.
Like Two Geeks. Hugely copyright infringing playlist.
We'll see what we can do.
Yeah. But when Ulysses 31 came out on DVD, they cut the theme song.
What are you doing?
I know, it's a bit long.
No,
they cut it out.
What, on every episode? Or just...
Every single episode. It's not on there.
But why?
No, dicks.
There's got to be a reason. Just copyright? Or?
No, it's just because a bit of it's they just cut it down really
That's
short.
Stupid.
It's the main thing people remember about Ulysses 31.
I bet it was like they only had a certain amount of. I suppose there is only a certain amount of disc space, and they're allowed to use one disc per thing or something.
I'd rather lose a bit of the episode, to be honest. That theme tune's epic.
Ulysses.
Already loving it. So, as the theme song explains, Ulysses angered the gods of Olympus, specifically Poseidon.
It's Poseidon himself.
So very good. So Poseidon, he decides to put all of Ulysses' mates, his shipmates, or his companions, as he calls them, always, frequently. He puts them into floaty-stone coma.
Okay.
And obviously, him being Poseidon, his symbol of power is the trident.
Right.
And so his servants then hunt Ulysses and his friends in ships shaped like tridents. You saw them then in the title sequence. So Ulysses and his sort of company, the only ones who aren't in floaty stone coma. No, as we discussed. No. Yumi, who is a blue-skinned telepathic alien. A little bit of a stretch from Homer there, but we'll give it.
My name is Yumi, and this is my brother Numenor. We're from Zatra. Some call it the White Planet.
And Ulysses' son, Telemachus, who again you saw in the title sequence. But you couldn't mistake them for anything but father and son, because they would constantly reiterate and repeat what their relationship was.
Father.
Yeah, it was the
son.
Father. there was just a lot of my father. My son Telemachus.
What is this? What's going on?
Yes, happy birthday, my son. All our friends here in Troy want to celebrate with you.
What a super cake! Thanks, Father.
I promised you a surprise for your birthday. Remember? All right, go on, blow out your candles.
It's a weird thing in anime where they tend to Speed Racer.
Right, yeah.
You know Speed Racer?
Yeah.
Like there's the film with your favourite Matthew Fox. And there's an early episode of Family Guy that kind of takes off that weird dynamic that they've got going on.
Speed, I do not think you should be in this race. Ha-ha, the Mach 5 is not ready. Ha-ha.
But Pops, I must be in this race. Ha-ha.
Very well, but you know I am not really your father. Ha-ha.
Oh.
It's very, very good. It's very Speed Racer spoof, but it kind of applies equally well to Ulysses.
Did anyone get that spoof?
I did. I loved it.
It's very niche.
Very niche.
Might as well do a reboot spoof if you're going to do
that. So as we mentioned, it was a French-Japanese co-production, but dubbed into English for American audiences.
Or was it all?
No. Like it went out in France and Japan, but then obviously when we saw it, it was dubbed into English, which not only led to lots of exclamations like my son, my father, the animation obviously it fitted the original dubbing, but into English it didn't quite scan. So I think we touched on this in the Thundercats episode, I seem to remember. As a result, there's a lot of people talking like this really quickly, so fit the animation in.
It's always that way around, and not going to keep talking long to fit in the animation. No,
you're all right, Ulysses. How you doing, mate? No, it's so there was a lot of very animated dialogue, as this clip from episode 17, Lost in the Labyrinth, proves.
Oh, Ulysses, my old friend. I've been anxious ever since my son Theseus left me. He's gone to be near Ariadne, daughter of King Minos. Oh, great oracle, where is my son? Where is Theseus?
Aegeus, he who seeks his own planet among the myriad stars. Only he can find your son, Theseus.
You heard it yourself, Ulysses. The one who seeks his own planet. That's you, without a doubt. That's you.
Yes, stranger. And wherever Theseus is, there is the route back to Earth.
Theseus, the route back to Earth. Did you hear that? I beg you, Ulysses, help me go there. Follow the oracle's advice. Do not hesitate. Find my son.
I beg you, Ulysses, you must go. My son. It's all pretty
Why don't they
intense.
just slow the animation down?
Because it would be really weird and trippy.
No, it's just a little bit, like a tiny little bit, so they can fit more in. You wouldn't notice.
Well, they're actually watching that. The Oracle
is fine.
He's really chill.
Yeah.
It's that other guy who's really intense. Ulysses must find my son right now! Maybe that guy was just overexcitable.
Probably failed Shakespearean actor who had to do this instead.
If he was doing voice work for Ulysses 31, he definitely was a failed Shakespearean actor. So there's lots of great episodes of Ulysses 31. But my favourite, because it's one of the first ones I ever saw, is episode 20, which is called The Magician in Black. And in that, Ulysses meets this powerful magician. He's the most powerful magician in the universe, and he's able to break the floaty-stone curse on Ulysses' companions. But in return, he demands that he be allowed to hunt them.
Right.
The most dangerous game. He gets to hunt Ulysses and his companions through a sort of virtual reality landscape. It's all very cool.
Not a great deal.
Well, no, it's like if they survive or they die, and they're like, but you know, they've been in a floaty stone coma for a long time. He wants his companions back.
Okay.
So in the end, they all team up and they all best him. But then a servant of Poseidon, who is posing as the magician's robot butler, he kills the magician, and they all return to their floaty stone coma.
Okay.
So we just watch that.
Even I, the great magician in black, fail to see this turn of events.
Don't shoot!
A wise move. If you kill me, all my magic will die with me, and you would all be as you were before. Ulysses, take your spaceship and leave. I am touched by the loyalty and bravery of your companions. You are all free to go.
Magician!
It was him!
But that is the side of the trident.
Companions!
Oh no! Numenor!
By the billion suns!
Just for once, we were all together and free.
Back to floaty stone coma you go.
It's sad, isn't it?
Well, my favourite thing about that scene is why Telemachus suddenly goes Cockney.
It was him!
It was him!
Governor! Me Cockney sparrow!
Listeners, I know what you're thinking. Morgan, you look far too young to have watched Ulysses 31 back in 1981.
How? Because I've never heard of this, but I still knew of and watched shows which were old, but I don't remember this ever being on TV here.
Well, no. So I got into this because my brother, who's a little bit older than me, he's about 6 years older than me, he had a VHS tape which just was a bit of a treasure trove for me because it had it's packed full of just 80s cartoons, stuff that I would never have seen otherwise. It wasn't stuff that was on television.
That he recorded on?
That he had recorded at the time.
Okay.
We had a video recorder in the 80s, swish. So it had, obviously, Ulysses 31, Transformers, the first time I ever saw Transformers, and I've talked about this before, and you've never heard of this either, The Mysterious Cities of Gold.
No.
Never heard of Mysterious... I guess you wouldn't have, because it's not our era, it's my brother's era, but I got into it through him.
Yeah.
Mysterious Cities of Gold, I'm just going to have a blast of that theme tune, because I think that and Ulysses 31 and Defense of the Earth are three of my favourite theme songs of all time, like in any genre. Any medium.
It is the 16th century. From all over Europe, great ships sail west to conquer the New World, the Americas.
the men eager to seek their fortune, to find new adventures in new lands. They long to cross uncharted seas and discover unknown countries, to find secret gold on a mountain trail high in the Andes. They dream of following the path of the setting sun that leads to El Dorado and the mysterious cities of gold.
Children of the sun, see your time has just begun. Searching for your ways through adventures every day and night. With the condor in flight, with all your friends in tow, you search for the cities of gold. Wishing for the cities of gold. Someday we will find the cities of gold. Do-do-do-do-do. Cities of gold. Cities of gold. Someday we will find the cities of gold.
Wow.
What do you make of that?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I always find with these sort of tunes because they're decent tunes.
Yeah.
It's like slightly tweak it and add different lyrics and it'd be a classic
It could be a
pop
pop
song.
hit at the time. It was a big hit at the time. Like kids loved it.
The kids were awash with the amount of different shows.
Spoiled.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember there was a thing on I guess it was children's BBC at the time where the theme tune to The Mysterious Cities of Gold was so popular that I think it was Philip Schofield, and the kids would like ring in and sing it down the phone to him, and whoever was like the best would like win a prize.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
Why have I never heard of it?
I don't know. Well, this is what I'm here for, to educate you. Yeah, but it was a great show. It was quite dark, but and even weirdly, so it's like a show clearly from the 80s, ran for one season again,
But kept
and had a proper ending. They made like season 2, like a couple of years ago.
What?
Someone just decided to make season 2 of The Mysterious Cities of Gold in like 2012.
What does it look like?
Like the same but better, obviously. But I don't want to get too much into it in case we do an episode on it.
Yeah.
But
All right, we'll come back to that another time.
So, because I got into Ulysses 31 through this VHS tape, there were only like a few episodes on it. There was like 2 or 3 episodes taped off the telly in the 80s. It didn't release it on DVD until 2004,
Ugh.
which meant I had never seen the final episode. The whole point of the show is let's get to the Kingdom of Hades to release his companions from the floaty-stone coma, and I never found out if he did it or not. My brother didn't know either because he had never seen the final episode.
So similar to me finally seeing the end of Reboot when I was at uni.
Yeah.
Were you at uni at this point?
Well,
or was it just before uni?
So it was about 10 years, probably about 2005. So yeah, I would probably just have started university. Well, so we had to wait 10 years to find out if he made it to the Kingdom of Hades. It must have been. So me and brother, we sit down finally. We got the DVD. We sit down to watch. Praise. We sit down to watch the final episode, and I was in Cornwall where he lives.
Yeah.
So I think it must have been sort of around Christmas time. I went home for Christmas.
Nice Christmas tree.
So because it was just after Christmas, my brother had Christmas cards all lined up. They were kind of like lined up on top of his telly. We sat, 2 grown men. I remember we had the lights off.
Yeah.
Sat in his living room, Christmas time, watching Ulysses 31 with our lives. And so in the final episode, we get there. He reaches the Kingdom of Hades. He meets Hades, the god of death. And he says to him, right, Hercules, you can go home. You've got well done first of all for getting to the Kingdom of Hades. You can go home to Earth, but only you, and you have to leave your companions,
not the companions,
and your son. And no, he's like, I'm not really bothered about no. But no, he's like, so you have to leave everyone, and only you can go home because your wife's there. And he's like, oh, I want to see my wife, but. Hercules being a hero. Ulysses. So I've had a beer. Ulysses being a hero. He doesn't even sort of weigh it up.
He's like, well, no.
For a minute. And he says, it's a great line, he says, your offer is beneath my contempt.
We should just use that in everyday language.
Your offer is beneath my contempt.
Is it offered a shit salary or something?
I was hoping for 26. We'll give you 24. Your offer is beneath my contempt. And flip the table. But this is the thing. Ulysses' refusal was so dramatic that somehow, when he said that line, all the Christmas cards fell off my brother's TV. Now, I'm sure it was just coincidence, and it was just like a gust of wind. But it was
Ghostwatch.
It was like Ghostwatch. It was incredible. It was like, your offer is beneath my contempt, and everything went, whoa! It was incredible. So it was worth the decades-long wait. As if they were just stunned by the sheer power of Ulysses' will. So let's relive that amazing scene right now.
Ulysses, bid farewell to your companions. They will be citizens of my kingdom.
No, never, never, Hades. I have brought them here to your kingdom in order to free them, not abandon them.
In that case, Ulysses, you too have renounced the chance to return to Earth. You and your children, it is all over. And so, Ulysses, the hero of space, you too will be a citizen of Hades forever.
That is of no matter. Your offer is beneath my contempt, and I reject it. I would rather stay here forever than return to Earth at the price of betraying my companions. Do what you will with me, but I will never break my promise. Farewell, Earth. My wife, my son, my friends. I will never forget you.
And that's the end of Ulysses 31. That's how it ends.
What, like that, huh?
Yeah.
What, he doesn't meet his mates again, or is
No, that's the end.
Nah,
not really.
No.
No, so
Believe you then. Genuinely believe you.
because me and my brother, we had waited 10 years. He was, your offer is beneath my contempt. I will not. And then we were like, yeah, Ulysses. And then we thought it was literally going to end with him being stuck in Hades forever. We're like, cheers, a bit dark. So yeah, rock credits. So we were like genuinely a bit bummed out. But there's a twist. It was all a test from Hades. He was testing, Ulysses' morals, his morality. And because he didn't betray his companions, it proves that he is pure of heart, and the show has a nice cheesy end, and they all end up flying back to Earth
with a rock
together.
opera ending.
Yes, friends, this is the end of our travels. We're going home.
By all the universe of creation, long live Ulysses! Earth to tomorrow!
Ours has been a strange voyage.
The greatest I've ever known.
Make love to me, Ulysses.
There's a lot of love going around for Ulysses.
Yeah.
But he talks about his companions a lot. There's only that one guy who seems to get any screen time ever. That one guy with sort of greyish, bluish hair. He's in the title sequence.
Like Rupert Graves.
He's very much like Rupert Graves. He's in one that ever speaks in any of the times when they get brought out of their floaty-stone coma, which happens quite a bit actually through the series.
And there's a few of them who look like the aliens in the Eiffel 65 Blue Dabba Dee video.
Yeah, there's Yumi. She's one of them.
Yeah.
I'm blue, dabba dee, dabba die.
Again, I know you always talk about this when we're looking at old cartoons and that kind of thing, but in this age where every single smart, original, creative idea has been flogged to death, it seems strange to me that we're on our... I love Spider-Man, but we're on our 17th Spider-Man movie, and
we've not had a bloody Ulysses.
And they've done Transformers and they've done Turtles, but no one's even thought about doing a Ulysses 31 movie.
Was this how big was it at the time, like in America and?
Pretty big, I think.
Yeah,
it's a pretty big deal.
So it's not like Bucky Harris, no one's heard of it. It's like
I think people 80s kids will know. I think this episode's going to be big with 80s kids. Putting that out there. No, I think like kids of the 80s, this was a big sort of formative cartoon of their youth. Particularly the theme tune. Everyone remembers the Ulysses. Everyone remembers that. Like I don't know what. Like if you're looking to sort of play on 80s nostalgia to get the adults of today to shell out, Hollywood, you're missing the trick.
And it's all humans rather than instead of
bit of blue face paint.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of like mammals like in the last episode.
Just cut out No. If you want to save money, no one to miss him.
No one.
Let's be honest. But I had a couple of ideas as to who could play him. Although I do like your suggestion of if only it could be a young Chris Christopherson, that would be perfect. Yeah. He always reminded me, although Jesus, but he always reminded me of Liam Neeson in Phantom Menace. Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah.
I always thought a younger Liam Neeson, probably too old now.
No
a younger Liam Neeson.
He was trained in the Jedi arts. My only conclusion can be that it was a Sith Lord.
But yeah, it just seems like particularly now with Star Wars being, a big concern again. Yeah, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. Surely people want to cash in. Make a Ulysses 31 movie.
I think it's going to kickstart space shows. I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy already helped it, but
they're bringing back. Well, I mean, obviously the Star Trek movies helped with this,
yeah.
but they're doing a new Star Trek TV show.
And I just think there's going to be more and more films now after Star Wars. So I'm predicting that Star Wars will become the highest grossing film of all time.
Yeah.
And I just think it's going to bring back. So maybe
much like in the 70s, how there were shows like Ulysses mimicking it, or even James Bond got in on the act with Moonraker.
Oh, God.
It's not that bad. First half's all right, and he goes into space, and it's terrible. First half's all right.
A bit about space.
The bit about space is crap. Yeah, got it.
This is the centrifuge training.
It simulates the gravity force you feel when shot into space.
Why not try it?
Why not?
But yeah, I thought so. Liam Neeson or Sean Bean, he played Odysseus in Troy.
Okay,
the movie Troy.
Yeah,
and that could be great. He'd be like, one does not simply walk into Hades. That could be great.
Yeah,
he could sell it.
Yeah.
Odysseus. That old bastard drinks my wine and never pays.
You ought to respect your king, friend.
Respect him? I'd like to punch him in the face.
We've already cast Rupert Graves as the...
Rupert Graves as his companion.
Just because he had grey hair. That's it.
Sean Bean, Rupert Graves.
Yeah.
I'd watch it.
Yeah.
So what have you made of that then? I've introduced you to the world of Ulysses 31 and also a little bit of Mysterious Cities of Gold.
Yeah. Well, it seems very complex and very exciting.
Yeah.
I'm just surprised that I don't know it. Not that I'm a fountain of all knowledge, but also that it isn't as well known as say Defenders of the Earth and all that kind of stuff. And I'm surprised because
maybe it's because it only ran for that one season. It wasn't on DVD for the longest time. It is on DVD now. Christmas is coming up.
Yeah.
And we'll just dropping you a few minutes there. We can have a bit of a binge.
Is there a TV channel that just does like old school cartoons?
Oh, there should be.
If there isn't one, because they've got one for like Challenge to do game shows.
Yeah, and there's a channel in America now that shows all the old Nickelodeon shows like Keenan and Kel and Clarissa and
there should
Rugrats.
Be just a channel rather that does that in the UK.
Shows awesome 80s cartoons.
Yes, all sorts. Don't need to be just be cartoons.
I don't think there should, because I would never leave the house or get dressed.
But it should all be shows which, even though they're aimed at kids at the time like this, but they're also just good. You know what I mean? So not like Rosie and Jim or something. I mean, like, nothing against Rosie and Jim, but do you know what I mean? It's aimed at like 5-year-olds.
Yeah.
So I want
action adventure
like,
cartoons.
Genuinely like Reboot.
Yeah.
Buck Your Hair, whatever. It's really good stuff. That's my 2 cents.
So, if you haven't seen Ulysses 31, well, I would say buy the DVDs, but
you can't.
Do you know what? They screwed themselves to cut out the theme tune.
So just watch it on YouTube.
Watch it. It's all on YouTube. Watch it on YouTube. Do it illegally. You've screwed yourself.
Yeah,
you cut the
why
theme
would
song.
You buy it?
What were you thinking?
Yeah. It's like the Muppet Christmas Carol DVD, where they cut off the best song in it, the big love ballad, which I love. Got rid of it. Why get rid of it?
Sometimes it's good to cut the songs though, like Hook. Hook was meant to be a musical, and they cut all the songs.
Yeah,
and thank God.
But if you've got it in the film, why in the DVD release cut it out for no apparent reason?
Yeah, this is a whole
Legend is a Tom Cruise movie. You ever seen Legend? Great film. It's one of his first roles in the 80s.
No,
it was a great fantasy.
Oh no, I know Legend. Is that the one with Tim Curry? Big Red Demon. Yeah.
And there's the film that we had.
Yeah.
Has a soundtrack by Tangerine Dream, and it's fantastic, amazing soundtrack. And then the DVD release, it's like a totally different soundtrack. Got rid of it. Why do it? At least include the other version.
It's probably rights issues.
Anyway,
I don't believe the makers of Ulysses said no, you can't use the theme, because they got it's not like they cut out the theme song. They just got an abridged version.
Maybe the songwriters no, I want that.
Preserving their amazing intellectual property.
Yeah.
Watch it on YouTube. Right, so that is it for another episode of Two Geeks. Again, thank you as ever for tuning in.
Very much so. Please continue to follow us if you haven't already. Then you go over to Twitter and it's at Whisper Tom.
He's trying to plug his other podcast at Two Geeks Cast.
And it's just Two Geeks, Two Beers and Laptop on Facebook. And it's twogeeks2beers.wordpress.com to download and stream everything.
Also, all our podcasts are on iTunes.
Yes.
Hopefully, barring any more hiccups, as we mentioned in the last episode. Also, a few of our earlier episodes are on YouTube with added visual bonuses, so you can check those out too.
Next time.
So what are we doing next time? You're again taking the reins.
Yeah. Because at the very beginning we said we're going to do shows on TV, film, games. Not done any games.
We've done TV and film.
Yeah.
Done a lot of 80s animation, 80s and 90s animation. I'm going to be honest.
So we're going to do games. But we're going to do a collection of my favourite or our favourite point and click adventure games.
Right.
It's not like Tomb Raider Adventure, but it's like Monkey Island Adventure.
Right. Clear as muck, good.
Got it?
We'll come up with a
Good.
snappy title for that one.
I remember it. It's fine. So that's point and click adventure games.
Basically, it's point
Next time.
and click adventure games. We will be loaded with booty
Yeah.
next episode. So, to play us out, this episode is a rather jaunty tune. It's the end credits song from the original French version of Ulysses 31, or as it's known in the French, Ulysses 31. So, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Dans le froid glacé de l'Olympe, les dieux malins ont en vain usé de leur puissance, leur pouvoir contre Ulysse 31. Dans le vide de l'espace infernal, fatigué, lassé, vainqueur, Ulysse près d'une aurore boréale réchauffe un peu son cœur. Ulysse 31, qui espère comme un poids pour demain, qui recherche sa paix et les siens. Ulysse 31, Ulysse 31, il oppose à la force des points le courage du cœur des humains. Ulysse 31.
Hello, and welcome back to an all-new episode of Two Geeks, Two Beers, and a Laptop. With me, Tom, and my companion. With me, Tom.
A little bit drunk.
I'm a little bit drunk. Just put that at the end. That's so funny.